What do we do now? Distribute, which is the way we say multiply in algebra 2, right? So 5x times 3x squared is 15x cubed. Good. 5x times 6x is 30x squared. And remember, you want to keep it lined up. All right. The only reason it wouldn't go in order like that is if I skipped a number in here, probably. Okay. So it should fall out nicely. Okay. What's 5x times 1? Good. All right. In algebra 2, what do we do next? Switch the signs, which is subtraction from 3rd grade, right? So switch the sign, switch the sign, switch the sign. All right. 15x cubed minus 15x cubed is what? Cancels out, which is 0, right? So that's what we planned to have happen. We're not going to write that down. All right, what's 0x squared minus 30x squared? Good, negative 30x squared. 8x minus 5x. Positive 3x, and then we're going to drop our negative 12 down there. All right, I'm now asking myself, how many times does 3x squared divide negative 30x squared? 10. Is that it? Oh, negative 10. Okay. Now what am I going to do? Distribute. Negative 10 times 3x squared is? Negative 30x squared. Good. Negative 10 times 6x is? Negative 60x. And negative 10 times 1 is? Negative 10. Good. Okay. In algebra 2, what do we have to do next? Flip the sign. So they're all going to go to pluses this time, right? Okay. The squareds cancel out, right? What's 3x plus 60x? 60. And sometimes the numbers are going to get big, and that's okay because Mrs. Ballard always gives us a calculator, right? All right. What's negative 12 and positive 10? Negative 2. All right. I ran out of polynomial here, right? And I definitely can't divide squared into x because that would give us negative exponents, right? So we're done. What do we call this thing here? Remainder, and I'm fancy in algebra 2, right? I write that as a numerator. And then what we divided by is the denominator. So 3x squared plus 6x plus 1. So what's up here is your answer. When you're writing workout, whether you're doing this in Otis or wherever you're writing work, make sure you leave a gap up at the top, right? Because you need that space at the top. So don't write it just on the top line or whatever. You want to give yourself some space to work. All right, everybody got it? Okay. There is one more long division problem there. Okay. Oh, of course, there's a weirdness in it. What's the weirdness in it? Where's the missing things? What's missing in this one here? X. So there's 0x. What's missing in this one here? X again. Okay, I don't know if we'll need it or not, but it's better to have it in there than to not have it in there. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to try the long division from beginning to end on your own. You know you've got these missing parts, right? So see what you can do with it. Remember to leave yourself some space at the top to write it. Everybody try it. Okay. Give you about 10 more seconds on your own. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. All right. We're setting this up. Let's see. I have the 9x to the fourth plus x cubed plus 11x squared plus 0x minus 4. If I missed something, let me know. So x squared plus 0x plus 16. Okay, we probably don't need that 0x in there, but I was trying to be safe. Okay. How many times does x squared divide 9x to the fourth? 9x squared. All right, what are we going to do next? What's our operation? Distribute, which is multiply in algebra 2. All right, so 9x squared times x squared is? Good. 9x squared times 0x is? 0x technically cubed, right? So that gave me a spot here. So I didn't mess that up and write the wrong thing down. Okay. 9x squared times 16 is what? What was it? Negative 144? 144. Everybody good with 144? Yes? Okay, 144x squared. All right. I didn't do the arithmetic, and I don't have an answer from last year, so I'm hoping you guys are right and you're all on it. Okay, so if something up there doesn't match what you got to speak up. Okay. All right, what are we supposed to do now in algebra 2? Flip the signs. Perfect. Do you see how if we didn't have this here, we may have accidentally written that underneath the cubed, and then we would have had problems. So it's always good to have the placeholder in there. All right, the x to the fourths are gone. What's x cubed minus 0x cubed? X cubed, right? Because there's 1x cubed there plus 0 is still 1. All right, 11x squared minus 144x squared is negative what? 133x squared. And then I'm going to drop down 0x. Okay, how many times does x squared divide x cubed? X. If you're having trouble with it, think about it this way, right? When we're dividing, we have to subtract the exponents. Okay. All right, what are we supposed to do in algebra 2? Distribute. So x times x squared is what? X cubed. X times 0 is 0x squared. X times 16 is 16x. Good. All right, what are we supposed to do next? Flip the signs, because that's the algebra algebra 2 way to subtract. All right, x cubed minus x cubed. Cancel. 0. Negative 133x squared and 0x squared. Those are good kind of problems to have, right? Because you have to add 0. It's really easy. Oh, 0 minus 16x. We got another one. Negative 16x. Okay, I got to drop the negative 4 down to the bottom. And it doesn't matter how crazy it is looking, right? They're going to get weird and ugly looking, okay? Because it's kind of just the nature of it. So it's not a big deal, okay? You might have to use a calculator. All right. How many times does x squared divide negative 133x squared? Negative 133. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to distribute that through. So negative 133 times x squared is? Good. Negative 133 times 0. 0 x's, right? All right, negative 133 times 16. I know it's going to be negative. 2,128. That was really nice. I stole these problems technically out of the textbook, so they picked some great numbers. All right. In algebra 2, what are we supposed to do now? Flip the signs, which on a 0, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, 133 should cancel. That's negative 16x and 0x. Good. Negative 4 and positive 2,128. Yeah, good. All right, what do we call this thing? The remainder, and that goes in the numerator. I'm going to zoom out a bit. It's going to go in the numerator, negative 16x plus 2,124 over x squared plus, and I don't really need the 0x at this point. I just do x squared plus 16. Okay, whatever the original was. Okay, it'd be nice if we had an easier way to do this, right? So there are some times when we divide when we have a shortcut that works, okay? On the ones we have done so far with long division, this particular shortcut would not work because I'm dividing by something that is bigger than a binomial, okay? I've been dividing by a trinomial. If it's had a squared on it, okay? But when I divide by something that's linear, I can do another process, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of a comparison here and look at the answers. Okay, so we're basically going to do the same problem twice. Okay, so I'm going to start by dividing this one into what they gave us here. So they're saying we're dividing x cubed plus 4x squared plus 10 by x minus 2. Okay, so let's do our long division just like we've been doing yesterday and today. So how many times does x divide 3x cubed? Good. And this one, it should be a simpler. I don't know why mine's not writing. Oh, it's not moving anywhere, anything. Hold on. Mine froze. Let's see if I can get it to unfreeze. Oh, good. It just shut down where I was writing. Let's try that again. Maybe. Does it like it? Really blown up, but they're there. Okay. Come on. Almost. There we are. Okay. All right. You guys just told me 3x squared, right? Come back, little menu. Draw. Okay. So 3x squared. All right. What am I supposed to do with that 3x squared? Distribute. So 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times negative 2 is? Good. All right. And in algebra 2, what are we supposed to do next? Switch the signs. Okay. All right. I'm going to subtract. So the column. So it's 3x cubed minus 3x cubed. Cancels are 0. So 4x squared plus 6x squared. 10x squared. Good. And then I'm going to drop my 0x down. It's a nice little placeholder in there. All right. How many times does x divide 10x squared? 10x. Good. All right. I'm going to distribute again. So 10x times x is? 10x squared. Good. 10x times negative 2 is? Good. Good. Making sure we're all caught up. Okay, what am I supposed to do next? Change the signs. All right, so 10x squared minus 10x squared is 0 or cancels x plus 0x plus 20x. 20x, and we're going to drop the 10. Okay, how many times does x divide 20x? 20, so that's going to go up here on top. Okay, we're going to distribute 20 times x. 20x, 20 times negative 2. Negative 40. Okay. What am I supposed to do next? Change the signs. 20s cancel out. What's 10 plus 40? 50? Did I do that right? I'm making sure. It was 20. It was negative. Yeah, 40. So 50, right? So my remainder is 50, and I would write 50 over x minus 2. Okay. So there's another process. I skipped over something that was called synthetic substitution because we don't use it a whole lot for what the book calls it, but it's also called synthetic division. Okay. It's another way to do things when I have a linear term here. Okay, so I want us to compare a little bit. I'm going to give you a faster way to do this specific type of example. Okay, so do you notice how this number is opposite sign? Okay, basically you set it equal to 0 and you solve it. So you swap the sign. Okay, and then these numbers, there's the coefficient for that one, the coefficient for this one, coefficient for this one, and the coefficient for this one. Make sense? Okay, so all I did was write down my opposite sign on what I'm dividing by and my coefficients for the rest. Okay. And now I'm going to show you another process. So this process is called synthetic division. It's another way to divide. Okay. It's got a lot less steps than this. All right. So the first step is I just drop my 3. Okay. And then I'm going to follow a pattern. I'm going to multiply and add, multiply and add, multiply and add. So I multiplied 2 times 3. What's 2 times 3? 6. And then I'm going to add the column. So what's 4 plus 6? 10. 2 times 10. 20. 0 plus 20. 20. 2 times 20. 40. 10 plus 40. Didn't I get the exact same coefficients I did there? And look at how much faster that was, right? So from here, this here is your remainder, always ends up there. Okay. And then I just start with 1 less. So this was a cubed. So I go 1 less on my exponent. So I'd write 3x squared, and I just keep following the pattern down. Plus 10x plus 20, and then the remainder over whatever I divided by x minus 2. Okay. So the pattern is multiply and add. Okay. We're going to do a bunch here so that you get used to the pattern. All right. So again, it's a very specific case when you're dividing by a linear term. Okay. All right. Let's look at a couple. It's on the next page, I think, right? All right. And I will tell you on the quiz. So on the quiz on this one, I'm going to say I want one by long division. I want one by synthetic division. Okay. Because I want to make sure you can do both. The one by long division, you won't be able to do by synthetic division. All right. So first thing, just like with long division, I'm looking for any missing terms. So do I have any missing terms in that example A there? X squared. So I'm going to just kind of scribble it in here. It is doing the same thing it did before. Oh, there we go. X. So I'm going to just scribble it in there. Okay, 0x squared. Okay, so I'm going to use synthetic division because I know I'm dividing by a linear binomial. I'm going to put a little box there, okay? Technically, what I am doing is I am setting this equal to 0 and I am solving it. Or in my head, what am I doing to the sign? I'm flipping it, right? So either you set it equal to 0 and solve it, or you flip the sign in your head. Your choice, okay? Then we're going to write down the coefficients in order. So my first coefficient is 7. My next one is 0. My next one is -6. And my final one is 9. Okay, let's do the process again together. So I'm going to drop my 7 down. I multiply first, and I multiply this times whatever's in the underneath that bar there, which is our equal sign bar. Okay. So -5 times 7 is good. And then we're going to add the column. So it's 0 and -35. Good. All right. We're going to need a calculator, right? I'm not doing that without a calculator. So help me out. Open a Desmos tab. I have no idea what it is because I didn't reopen the other set of notes here. So help me with the arithmetic. 175. Do we agree? -170. No, negative times negative should be Positive. I'm good with positive. Everybody good with the 175? All right. So then what am I supposed to add or multiply the vertical? We're adding, right? So negative 6 and positive 175 is going to be positive what? 169. Numbers are going to get big fast. It's going to happen. It's okay. All right, we're going to multiply again. I'm going to need your calculator help. Negative 5 times positive 169. I know it's going to be negative. Negative. This times this is 210. Which one are we talking about? It's 5 times 35. Okay, so 175. Okay, this is the only number we multiply by. Okay, got it? Okay, this times this. All right, so negative 5 times 169 is what? 845. All right. Whatever goes here is the remainder. All right, so 9 and negative 845 is negative 800 what? Everybody good with negative 836? Okay. Then I can't just leave it like this. This is like doing factoring on the box, and we can't leave it on the box, okay? Can't just leave it numbers. I have to put it back into a polynomial, okay? So I know that my final answer on that up there is I have to take this down by one exponent. So what's my new exponent? Or my new variable? Yeah, so 7x squared. I'm using these coefficients. Minus 35x plus 169 minus 836 over whatever I divided by, x plus 5. Okay, well, you're doing that and catching that up. I'm going to get my other set of notes up so I've got numbers. Sorry if you're on the computer. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. We're going to go a little bit faster together. Oh, I'm going to change the next one. Because the next one's... Look at what nasty things... And this is right out of the textbook. Look at what nasty things the textbook did to us next. Let's do fractions. No, let's not do fractions. Let's white that out. It is not writing for me. There. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing anyways. It wasn't working, so. All right. Let's not make it 1/2. I've got a better idea. Let's make it 2. That's better, isn't it? You can't do that on a quiz, but I'm the teacher and we're taking notes, so I can do that. I did it really quick off to the side when you guys were doing something else, and it turns out pretty nice. So. Okay. So the first thing we have to look for is if there's anything missing. Is there anything missing? What's missing? X cubed. Good. So I've got to have a 0x cubed term. All right. I'm trying this process called synthetic division. All right. So I am looking I got to fill in this little box. What's supposed to go in the box? 2. I'm opposite sign, right? We're shortcutting that opposite sign. All right, then I've got to write all the coefficients down. So I want you to do that without me on this one. So write just your coefficients down. Okay, so 4, 0, negative 3, 7, 2. You all good? Okay. All right, you're going to help me out a little bit more with the process this time. So what's the first step? Drop the 4, right? All we got to do is just drop that down. The first one stays. Okay. All right, then what am I supposed to do with the 2 and the 4? What process? Multiply. So 2 times 4 is what? 8. Good. Oh, sorry. All right, what are we supposed to do with the column then? Add. Good. So what's 0 plus 8? 8. Good. All right. Then what are we supposed to do with the 2 and the 8? Multiply. 2 times 8 is? Good. What do we do with the column? Add. So negative 3 plus 16 is? 13. Oh, I did it wrong, but that's okay. It'll still turn out okay. All right. What am I supposed to do with the 2 times 13? Multiply. What do you get? 26. Good. All right, what am I going to do with the column? Add. So 7 plus 26 is? Everybody good with 33? Okay. All right, what am I supposed to do with the 2 and the 33? Multiply. 2 times 33 is? 66. And then vertically, what are we supposed to do? Add, we get 68. What's that right there, that number represent? That's the remainder, okay? All right, so we're going to rewrite out the polynomial that would have been the answer to that division problem. It's going to start with 4. What's going to be my x to the what? Cubed. I have to go one less, right? So x cubed plus 8x squared plus 13x plus 33 plus 68. What's going to go in the denominator for 68? X minus 2. Okay. Synthetic is nice because we can work it faster. We might need a little bit of a calculator help, but the numbers come out right. And we aren't messing with all the variable stuff, right? And having to determine if it's a squared or a cubed and lining all of that up. Okay. All right, what are we got on time? 26. We've got enough time. Okay, so let's have you try one of those on your own. Okay. Just to make sure you've got it. Oh, I don't know what I just did. Apparently I blew that 3 way up. Okay. My computer is acting really funky right now. All right, it just went all the way back to the top. All right, go to the next example. That's the next one down there. I think it is one that doesn't have a fraction, right? All right, so we're not going to worry about this reflect statement, so get rid of that. I just want you to do your turn from beginning to end, so you're just doing that problem. Use synthetic, not long. Okay, so practice your synthetic really quick on that one. Give you about 20 seconds on your own. And calculators are encouraged. Okay, no matter where you're at in the process, I want you to check with a table partner or somebody at your table. Okay, compare your work, please. Make sure you're getting this. Even if you're not done, compare where you're at. Okay, let's take a look together. What is going to go in my little box here? 2, good. Okay, what are my coefficients? -1, 7, right? Because there's an invisible 1 in front of that, right? All right, I draw my little equal sign. What am I going to do first with the 2? Drop it down, good. 2 times 2 is 4. What do I do with the 5 and the 4? Add, what do we get? Good. What do we do with the 2 and the 9? Multiply. 9 times 2 is? Good. What do we do vertically? Add, what do you get? 17. And then 2 times 17 is? 34. Vertically add, what do you get? 41. What do we call that? Remainder. So I'm going to write it out. 2x, what's my new exponent? Squared. Plus 9x plus 17 plus my remainder, what's going to be in the denominator? Good. Okay. This is not either one of these things. Synthetic is a nice shortcut, but you got to practice it and get that muscle memory of what the steps are down. Okay. I'd like to remind you that there is homework. Okay. And there's a couple of things out there that you should be aware of. Remember, tomorrow we're doing our little weekly skills check. That came up quick because it's a short week, right? Last week I didn't put any extra practice out there. This week I did. It's there. If you don't remember how to do it, there is a video of what we did on Monday. Okay, so if you miss, or Tuesday, okay, there is also homework that goes with this topic here. It looks like I'm going to add a little bit more. I probably need to add some synthetic division. This is the long division. I will add some synthetic in there, okay, and get that out there for you. So please make sure you're practicing on your own, okay.